around the map is a very important ability to have. We have arbitrary control over where we zoom into and what scale we zoom into. Sometimes you might want to zoom into an area of interest based on, say, creating territories by selecting areas and then saving them off. Other times we might move in to see the extent of our data. We might have applied a table as a set of points or values. We want to see where that covers. In this current map view, we've got all of Australia, and we've got a couple of coloured areas that you may notice. A purple area, which is actually a territory that we've applied, and we've done some map selections over here. So let's go and use a few viewing methods and see what they are all about. Okay, so we've got up into the top menu a conventional view option, and it gives us everything that you can see listed here: view all, view previous. So all is what we currently see here, zoomed out to the maximum view, containing all of the layers and all the map data. View previous means that if you've gone too far, zooming in, let's say, that you can always go back to the previous view. In fact, you can walk all the way back to the point where you open the application. You'll notice they've got keyboard shortcuts. As you use these more and more, you'll find that it's faster to actually use the keyboard shortcuts, and you'll gradually learn them as you use them. All the normal zoom options: in, out, left, right, up, down, and a couple of other options for extent of your territory and extent of your table that you can pick off from a list. And we can also view current data, such as this example where we've got selections, and also when we've got territories. If you had data applied to the map, you could also see the extent of your current values, and also for your points. And we've got a couple of other options here for managing views and saving of views. We'll go to these in due course. As well as that menu option and those keyboard shortcuts, we've also got icons. This icon shifts and drags the map around. That will make sense when we zoom in a little while. This gives us the ability to jump into any area that we like in the map. Usually a successive zoom is drilling into an area of interest. This is our view all. This is our view current selections. Again, a very common tool to need. View previous, in, out, left, right, up, down. So these are icon shortcuts equivalent to what we used in the menu, and also what we used as keyboard shortcuts. There's one additional item that we could use over here, which is our saved views. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. So let's go up into our view option, and we view current and current selections, and that's in fact that white area down in the bottom right corner, and we want to see what our current selections are. I did a selection previous to this, and now we're going in to see them. This is an important step to make if you're creating territories, because everything that you have selected is saved off as a current territory, and so it's highly recommended to view current selections before you do that save, just to make sure that there's nothing outside of the area of interest. Alright, the other option that we have up here immediately to us, because we've got some data applied to the map, is view current territories, again so that you can see the extent of the coverage of that territory. What we can do is we can go view previous if we like, and we'll show you how to pan the map around. Click, hold and drag. Alright, so when we click on this option here, alright, it becomes a click, hold and drag operation. Click, hold, drag, and so we can fine tune the map position to exactly where we want it to be. This one moves into a rectangle. Alright, so we click, hold and drag to the opposite corner of where we started, and that will zoom into that rectangle. Again and again. While we're here, we may as well get rid of these selections, which I'll just use it with a keyboard shortcut, which will clear that. And let's put on a few different map layers if you like, and make sure that to give you a bit of map detail. So this is a map of Sydney. It makes more sense as you come in, you'll recognise the highways and the roads and so on. We've got a view of Sydney that we like. If we want to, we can save this. We can view, save as current view. Call it Sydney City. When that is done, then that is added to the list of views. So we've got a couple of views up here. Let's click on Brisbane, jumps to Brisbane obviously, and then we've got one for Melbourne, and we can go back to our Sydney City view that we just saved, which is exactly that. And if we wanted to, we could then drag that around, or maybe even zoom in or zoom out. Let's just get rid of these map layers here, because we don't always need them on. Just add that for example. So that's a very quick and simple way for getting around. Now what we'll do is we'll put on a couple of additional map layer details. Let's do the suburbs this time. So we've got these abilities to zoom into any rectangular area, zoom out to everything, zoom to selections, and zoom to other parts of our data like points and values and so forth. Let's see about doing a search in the map to find a current location. So we do map, search, postcode or suburb. I'll come up with this box, and in this box you can type in either postcodes or suburb name. Around 17,000 in the list that it maintains, and it recognises even misspellings to give you the best possible results. So once you start typing in something here, it will then go through its list, and as you partly type it, give you types of matches that you've got, and then eventually it'll come down to one or more of options. Sometimes in this case of DY, it's unique in Australia. If we have say another name, Golden Point, say in Victoria, actually see we've got 3 golden points in Victoria, and it gives you the postcode, and it gives you a sense of where that location is. In this case, all the distance and direction from the nearest capital city is what's given as the location hint. So let's go back to DY. Now we can dump the map view to it. It'll keep you its current map scale, because that's probably might be what you preferred to use, and so that's what it will do. But we can also give us a couple of options here, such as label this location and select this location. That might be handy for you as a point of reference. Let's say that you needed to do that. So it's labelled DY and selected that for us. Let's say that we wanted to do some work, and we knew that one point was at DY, another one was at say Ryde, and so let's go and select that. And if we wanted to know where say Turramurra was, alright, so we're going to use our view using selections to show us where our selections are, and that's a pretty handy thing, because they don't have to be continuous. It simply zooms the map to show you the extent of all the selections that you made. So very quickly and simply, we needed to, in this case, just a fictional example, to know where these 3 locations were. It found it for us, and in this case we tick the box to also do a selection and label. So we got this point of reference, and that might be something we needed for some exploration. We could, for example, go through and then decide to do a map selection, and let's say we want to know all the suburbs between these points, and then we could easily just do that with a couple of operations, and we've got all of our options, and options such as a single select, and might add a few more, and we could see what our selections were. And very quickly we're moving around the map and making very precise selections based on what we want to do. So that's it in a nutshell. It's mouse operated, keyboard operated, and also driven by your data, such as when applying tables in the form of values or points. And getting around the map is as simple as that.